Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And you're like, oh, I want to do it. And then you're like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then you gotta take it apart. It may be the end of July and technically we still have 2 months of summer and technically it's still going to be warm out for those 2 months. But this is the last project I'm going to make for the summer because I got to start making all those fall projects now if I want to wear them in the fall. Anywho, I am going to make for the 3rd time the old man cardigan that is very trendy right now, and that is the one where it's 2 hexagon short sleeve sides. You connect them at the back and it becomes like a cardigan. That's what I'm going to make. I've made 2 versions of this and both those versions, they were okay. They weren't the best. Learn from those and I'm going to apply it here. I decided that I wanted to do this last night, so I went off to Michael's. Being a last minute project that I thought of, went to Michael's, and as soon as I went in, I got distracted by all their Halloween things. Oh, I just love all the Halloween things so much, and everything is just so gosh darn cute. And they have so many different types of collections this year. I just want everything. Anywho, went off track, went into the yarn section, and this is the yarn that I picked out. So this is the yarn that I got. This should be more than enough. I do have another off-white pound of love of this color that is currently connected to another project that I am working on that I am pushing to the side until this one's done, because that one I know I'm not going to wear to the fall. That one also I have been pushing aside for like 2 months now. I would start it and then another project would come and then I would stop. Then I would start it again, then another project, and then I would stop. It's an ongoing thing, but it's because I know I'm not going to wear it until the fall. And when I mean fall, it technically could be October because who knows how hot September is going to be. But anyways, these are the colors I bought. They are from Lion's brand Pound of Love, and I know I mentioned this a lot, but this acrylic yarn, oh my goodness, it's so nice. Like, it is so soft. It is so lovely to work with. And when I mean lovely, I mean it is just so nice to work with. I know it looks like it's just probably regular acrylic yarn, but when you're actually crocheting with this compared to the Impeccable yarn, night and day. 2 different types of yarn. So that is why I'm going with this one here. Also, they just recently started, maybe in the last month, selling this at Michael's. Otherwise, I'd have to go to the Lens Mills store, and that's like pretty far away from me. The one I like to go to is in Port Dover, so that's like an hour away. I mean, it is a little bit cheaper there, but for gas, it evens out. So I got this one here. This color is called Antique White. It does require a 6mm crochet hook. I'm going to probably use a 5. We'll see. If I use a 6, I feel like maybe it would be a little bit lighter. If I use the 5, the crocheting might be a little bit more dense, so it might be a little bit more heavy. So maybe I will go with a 6 just to give it a little bit more lighter feel to it. And then the other color I did get was this one here, and this one is called Olive. Now, I wanted more of a burnt orange color because I love my oranges, but they didn't sell it. They might sell it somewhere else, but they didn't sell it at that Michael's in that color. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do it with a green. The other ones I've made, actually it's right here. I just filmed the video with it, but this one's like a brown. So I didn't want to go with brown again. So I'm like, okay, let's do like a nice green because this is going to be the main color and this is going to be the accent color. Now thinking about it, do I want to do the opposite way where this is the main color and this is the accent color? Now the reason why I wanted to go with this one for the accent color is because I have this one already, which is the same yarn. It's just I'm working with a different project. So I'm like, okay, if I run out of this for the main color, I have a bunch of that. But now thinking about it, would be better if I used this green color and then this is the accent color. That's a good question. It's gonna be either way. We'll figure it out eventually. So I did put a poll up on my Instagram and you guys said use the olive green as the main color. I know summer goes till September the 21st and currently it is the end of July. So I have like, what, 2 more months of summer. But like I said, you need to start those fall projects as soon as you can. If you want to wear them for the fall, you gotta start them early. This is why I'm going to just do this last summer hurrah and then I can get back into making all the sweaters I want for the fall time. I'm going to have to make a lot of changes because the other one that I'm basing it on, one of the first ones I did like this, it was the one that was a little bit too long, the mystery one that was black and white that I revealed the color at the end. That one was a really fine yarn, where this is like a medium weight yarn, and I'm also using a 6mm crochet hook for this one. I did the L test, which means like if you put it like this, right, like that's the bottom and that's the arm, and then you just keep expanding, right? So this is always going to be the middle, it's always going to be where the armpit is, and you just keep on going out that way. I think for this one I'm actually going to be doing 3 rows of the white, because I'm not going to be doing as much as green, because green is going to be the main color. So far for green I did 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We'll see how that is, because again I am kind of basing this off of the thinner version I did, and then this is like thicker, so we'll just have to see how that goes. My original idea was I was gonna do 3 rows of white, but I think it's a little bit too much. This is how long I want the sleeve to be. And I know you might be like, Michelle, your arm is not that tiny. I know, I agree with you. But what ends up happening is that this will get taller and then this will get longer. But if this gets longer this way, then it becomes a bigger sleeve. I forgot where I was going with this. I'm actually gonna take one of the white rows out, because I think I just need 2 rows. That's what I'm trying to say. I forgot what crochet hook I was using for this project. Then I started working with the 5. And then I realized, wait a minute, I think I need to be working with the 6. So I have to take apart this last row again. It does make sense though. Those are a lot more puffier than these ones. And this is with the 5 and that was with the 6. All right, I'm gonna get there eventually. I think this is where I'm going to stop this. So I have to tie this off, and then what I think I have to do is, I'm just trying to remember how I did this. Because what I have to do is I have to like, see, like this is the sleeve, I have to go to the sleeve. Oh, I think I have to start here. So I think I have to take this off and I have to start up here. So then that way I can go around, stop, back, stop, and like, you know, to keep going back and forth. So I'm not adding any more to the sleeve. And if I decide that I need another row, I can add the row in later. So it's not a big deal, but I think that's as far for the sleeve that I'm gonna go. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Last night, I actually finished the first half of it. I think this is as far as I wanna go. Of course, this is gonna be more like that. I do have to do the ends. I think I'm gonna add like a single crochet around the arm. This is as long as I want it to go. If I want it to go longer, I can just continue on the bottom, but I don't think I'm going to. So today, I'm gonna start on the second half. Now, this project is gonna be a little bit different than the other ones. I don't think I'm gonna put buttons on it. I might put buttons. I might just put buttons just to put buttons, because I don't actually have to make buttonholes, because all of these are technically buttonholes. For the collar, I don't know what I'm gonna do right now about that, because like this folded over actually looks like pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna make a collar. I might make one. We'll see how time goes. So yeah, this is actually going really fast because this is thicker yarn. It's going pretty smoothly right now. So I was on such a roll. I'm like, we'll try to get a lot of it done today. And then like right now, I just realized that I didn't need to do the second row yet, because looking over here at the one I just did, I only did 1 row of green on the sleeve before I stopped doing the sleeve part. And it's not like I can just leave this as the sleeve, because it starts here. I have to start it here and go around and stop and come back and stop, which means I have to take this whole row that I just did out. Not exactly what I want to do right now, but yeah. Okay. First up, you might notice I moved this around a little bit. I kind of like how this is looking. Right here, I'm not 100% sure what to do with. I really like my teapots, but I feel like those are more like summer, spring, and now that I'm going into fall, I kind of want more like old man things, such as like this kind of theme. So I think I might just pack those away until like the summertime. But anyhow, let's get back into the crocheting project. I finished this one like you saw yesterday. So it's gonna go like this, and I still have it attached to this string, which is like, I don't like this, leaving it attached because eventually I am going to have to like connect it and then connect it down. So I kind of just want the string just to stay attached instead of, you know, snipping it, cutting it, having to tie it off when it just could be just one big piece. Anywho, this is what it looks like when it's not connected, so you can see where I stopped for the sleeve and then continue. Now what I might do is, depending on how long the sleeve is right now, like once I try it on, I might or might not add like 1 more row of green on the end. We'll just have to see. Also, I have this little guy here. If you go into the charm section of Michael's, they have a ton of these little tiny charms, and they come in a pack of 4. I picked the little dinosaur pack, and then I had these little stitch markers that were just kind of plain. I just kind of hook them in there. So now I got a bunch of dinosaur stitch markers. Here's the thing. I realized I don't have a video for this Sunday, which is now, and so I'm really hustling to get this project done. I'm here right now and I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so I need to do 2 more rows today. Unfortunately, they are the longer rows to do. I'm getting there. I'll get this done today, and then what I can do is I can attach it at the back and then work on the collar. Now I'm not too sure what to do with the collar like I mentioned yesterday, because if you go like this, so if I put this on, right? See, that's the thing, is like I don't know how it's gonna sit in the back because I have to attach them, so it might be a little bit there, it might be a little bit more up, you know what I mean? Looking at it, it could just be open like that, and that would be like a little collar, but I don't like how that looks, so I don't know if I want to make a collar or maybe just stitch this down, because it's probably what it's gonna look like anyway, so then that way it doesn't like keep folding over. I'm not too sure I'm gonna add buttons to it, because for this look I don't think I'll be buttoning it up. I think I'm just going to be leaving it open. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to add buttons. Also, I don't know if I have time to go and buy the buttons and then like figure out what type of buttons I want. I think the buttons might just take away from the look a little bit, so I don't think I'm gonna put buttons. I don't know. You know me. I'll say I don't want to do something and then I end up doing it. But I do like how this is looking right now. I have 2 more rows to go and then I'll be done. Like, this project is actually really easy. It's just the first panel. The first panel, oh my goodness, is what takes the time to figure out, because you'll get so far like, oh, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And you're like, oh, I want to do it. And then you're like, I don't want to do it anymore, and then you gotta take it apart. And then you gotta redo it to realize, I kind of liked it the first time. It's a process. I got too distracted with watching TV, and I almost started going down the arm. So I have to take that out. All right, now I gotta turn my way around. See, that's the thing, it's like I should be moving the little markers up every single time, but then I get lazy and I think I'll remember. Apparently I didn't remember. Once I finished doing the second side, I started to attach them together. Here it is on. I sewed the sleeves together and I pinned the back. I wasn't too sure if I was actually going to go all the way up the back, because a few of the longer ones I didn't, but I am gonna attach it all the way to the top. Now I'm at that dilemma if I want to put a collar on, because originally I was like, I don't need to put a collar on, but I just don't like this. The way it sits on my neck is fine. Like, I don't think I'm gonna go any more up on the shoulders. I think I am gonna put a collar, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to like put this down and put this down just kind of like that, and maybe sew that down and then put the collar on top to cover this. I think that would look good. I just don't like how plain it is here. I am gonna finish this today. I'm gonna get it done today. I was kind of hoping maybe to get a few other things done yet, but now that I gotta do the collar, I feel like that's gonna take a little bit more time to do, so yay. All right, so I am working on the collar right now, and how I do the collar, if anyone ever wonders, is I just kind of make it up as I go along. Want to make sure it reaches here and then it goes all the way down, right, to like wherever it ends. And I found that if you measure it and then do the same amount of chains to like that measurement, it's going to be too long. So for this particular one, I did 60 chains. And then what I do to make it like this nice little point is when I get to the end, you know how usually when you get to the end of a row of crocheting, you add a chain and move yourself back, and that leaves you with like, say, like a straight line. Well, with this, you add 2 extra stitches, then you skip the one going back, and then you go into like the first extra stitch you crocheted, if that made any sense. And then you just keep going to the end, and then you add 2, work your way back, add 2. Eventually you get this like kind of like crisp line. This is how long I'm gonna make it. So now I'm gonna attach this to this. Also decided that I am going to add an extra row of green around just to make them look a little bit tidy, a little bit more polished. So that's what I'm working on today. I guess that's what I'm working on tonight. It's currently 8:39 p.m. There's Pippin. Pippin! Pippin, say hello! Pippin! 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 There she is. So sweet. She's so annoyed at me. She's so annoyed at me. And it is done now. I think that after making 2 other versions of this, I think I finally got it right. I think I got it somewhat right. So this is what it kind of looks like right now. I mean, like, what am I say like right now, like I'm gonna change it. I'm not. This is the final look. I really do like how this turned out. The sleeve length, I think, is the best possible sleeve length. I don't think it's too long and I don't think it's too short. I think it's probably the best sleeve length I can get because it stops before my elbow, but it is long enough to hide my short sleeve underneath because I don't do tank tops. I just don't like tank tops. I don't like sleeveless things. I just don't. So I feel like this length covers it up. But if say like one day I do come across in the thrifting wilderness a really cute tank top that has like a cute little graphic on it, I could wear it underneath this. If it was any shorter, I just don't think it works. The last one I did, like the mystery project one, I made the sleeves way too long. So when I redid this, I think this looks great. And you know what? Here's the thing. Let me go grab that one. So if you haven't seen this, this is the mystery crochet project that I mentioned in a lot of my videos. It's in black and white, and then at the very end, I reveal the color to you. So what I'm gonna do now is if you wanna watch it, here's the link. You can go watch it. If not, I am gonna go back into color and you'll see the mystery colors I picked are from this project in 3, 2, 1. So here it is. It's a baby blue and white. Looks like a baby blanket. Anywho, this was my very first attempt at making this. Now this one I actually did use a finer yarn, and this is a thicker yarn. You can definitely tell the difference, but this one had some problems to it. If you're looking at this one, you see how the sleeves are, the length. I decided not to add buttons just because I don't think I'm gonna button it up. I don't think this style really suits the buttons. I think like open, that's the way to go. First, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you everything about this, and then we're gonna do a comparison to the first one, and you can kind of see why I needed to make those changes. Make the collar, I did iron it. I know like ironing acrylic yarn, you don't really want to put it on high heat due to the fact it could melt, but it did make a difference in like flattening it out a little bit. But this one still kind of wants to curve, and then this one wants to curve down. But on the inside, I don't know if you really even can see it. Right here, it was the edge of it and I had to fold it down. So I'll show you on the bottom. So what I did is here, all I did was just, I folded it down like that and then just stitched it using the same yarn, and I folded it on the inside so that way it wasn't shown here. And I don't really think you can see it that much. Like if you're not looking for it, I think it just kind of blends in nicely, so then that way I can have the collar. You don't need to put the collar like you saw in the video. You could just like have the little corners kind of folded over, but I didn't like that. I like having, you know, the little collar in the back. Also, this is what the back looks like. This, I think it is the perfect length. I didn't want to go any longer. If I wanted to, I could keep going on the bottom and just adding rows. And also, I am so happy I did go with the green like y'all suggested, but then also I'm glad I thought of maybe going with the green instead of going with the white. Although if I wanted, I could make another one with the opposite colors because that's how much yarn I have left. I have so much yarn left over from this project that I could make the reverse colors if I wanted, but I don't really want to right now because I have all those fall projects like I was telling you that I gotta get started. And then here it is from the side, so you can see the hexagon from the back. Part of me thought maybe I should put another stripe on like in the middle. Nah, I kind of wanted the green really to pop more and the white just to be like the cute little accent color. It's a lot lighter than I thought. I thought that using the sticker acrylic was going to be like a little bit too hot. That was another thing that was kind of crossing my mind. I'm like, is this going to come off too much like a sweater? But like, look at it. It looks a little bit light. It looks breezy. It doesn't look like it's going to be too hot. I mean, like, should I be wearing this in my car that has no air conditioning in the summer? Probably not. Am I? Yeah, probably I am because it's just so cute. Also, I feel like I can wear this into September when it kind of gets a little bit cooler, but it's still warm enough to wear short sleeves before jacket season starts, even though I'm so excited for jacket season. I love my jackets. I love my sweaters. I love my cardigans. Also, this took me about 13 hours to make, give or take. And I don't even think that long. A lot of the time that goes into making it is when I get to a certain point, oh no, I made a mistake. Oh no, I didn't like it. Oh no. Those type of problems, but I add that into my time. Another thing is that the first panel is always going to be your tricky panel because you're always deciding what you want, what you don't want, having to undo it, having to redo it. But then once you get the first panel done, the second panel is like you just have to mirror image it. That's it. Pretty simple. I do like how the sleeves turned out. I did try to like iron them down flat a little bit, but I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. You know, it's crocheted items. It's also acrylic. It's really hard to wet block acrylic. I've tried it. It does nothing. I feel like the more I wear it, the more gravity's gonna do its thing and like weigh it down a little bit so it's less puffy. I think I give this probably like an 8 out of 10. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the comparison with this one here, and so you can kind of see why I chose to make those changes. First off, you can see the sleeves here. They go down to my elbow. They're wide. This is a hexagon sweater. They're gonna be wide. I feel like they drape nicer. This one here, you can see the sleeves go past my elbow. They really should have stopped up there. I do like how I didn't make an extra row of white in the center. I didn't need the buttons kind of thing, so I think that works. Buttons, although they look cute, I don't think they're needed. I do like the collar, and with this collar I actually made it one piece instead of two and then sewing it in the back, because I thought for some reason that like the little points would be different, but I think just one piece works pretty good. And like I've made a few of these collars now, so I've kind of gotten comfortable on how I like to make them, and then as well as how I flipped over the corner piece. I like how that looks a lot better. The collar piece I did do too, so you can kind of see in the back right here how I attach them together. It was the only time that I did the two pieces that attached them together. I think in the future, or I've already done it in the future, one solid piece. Here, what I did is I actually just attached it onto the thingamajig. What is that? What am I trying to say? The edge. So instead of folding that edge over like I did the other one, I just sewed it right onto it. And so like when it's open, it does kind of like that, where I think I would have rathered it been more, I guess, like that, right? And then I do like how I just did the 2 rows of white. What I did is I did 4 rows of green, 2 of white, 4 of green, 2 of white, and then I did 6 of the green on the end. What I think I would have done is I might have done 4, 2, 5, 2, 5. So take the 6th one from here and add it to the 4 that I did right here. That could have worked as well. The striping, because of how small the stripes were, I think I probably should have added a 3rd row of the white here and here. You know what's so funny is that the other one, the teal one, is actually heavier than this one. This one is light. Even though it's a thicker yarn, it's a lot more lightweight. If you are thinking about making this, you can do a, what was it, a medium weight acrylic yarn. It's the summertime, so it's gonna be a little bit hot, so this might make you a little warm. It might be a little warm to wear, but it is a lot lighter. It feels a lot lighter than you think it would. You know, I was kind of going into this thinking it was gonna sit and feel more like a sweater. No, it's actually quite nice, especially if I just have it like opened and I have like a bird shirt on. I think this works. I like it. I did it. I finally made a version that works. Now I just have to, there's that other like striped grandpa shirt that I did that I have to take apart and redo. We'll see if that happens this year. I think that does it for this video. If you're new to my channel, like sewing, thrifting, crafting, and of course, crocheting, why not hit the subscribe button? You can also follow me on my Instagram, my TikTok, and now my Patreon. I have a Patreon. If you haven't watched the last video that I did introducing you to my Patreon, I have a Patreon. I think that's it. So y'all have a good day now.